Hey guys, so this video is a little bit more serious than most of my videos. If you didn't notice the title, this video is about living with social anxiety, which is something I know a lot of my subscribers and a lot of my followers on Twitter deal with on a daily basis, and I do too. My hope for this video is that it gives you a little bit more insight into what people with social anxiety deal with on a daily basis, if you didn't already know, and to let people that do have social anxiety know that there are a lot of people that feel the same way as them. For me, my social anxiety started in 6th grade. I had transferred to a new school because I had graduated elementary school, and I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of friends in elementary school, but it never really bothered me because I just kind of read all the time. Like during recess or lunch recess or anything, I was always reading. I wasn't really playing with other kids. And then in middle school, I started realizing that I didn't really have any friends. And I then started to feel like everyone was making fun of me and laughing at me. Like, for example, where I got dropped off in the morning, there was always a group of like cool kids, the popular kids that hung out on the corner right there, and they would always be laughing and joking and messing around. And I always thought that they were laughing at me. As I progressed through 6th grade, I still didn't make any friends. I was a little bit weird, which it's hard to make friends with when you're weird. And it's hard to make friends when you have social anxiety because you feel like no one likes you and no one wants to talk to you and you're, different and weird and there's no reason for anyone to want to be friends with you except to make fun of you. So that was hard, and I started having panic attacks in the morning when my mom dropped me off. And I'd go to the bathroom and I'd start crying and hyperventilating, and I'd call her and I'd want her to come pick me up because I didn't want to go to school because I didn't want to have to, interact with anyone or anything like that. And so eventually my mom stopped saying, "I'll come pick you up." She started saying, "No, you have to go to school. You can't come home, And I did have to go to school. I had to learn how to deal with my social anxiety. I had to learn. I had to, get educated, which is really important. So she stopped picking me up. She stopped letting me come home. She stopped, she would help me calm down. If I couldn't calm down, she'd tell me to go to the nurse's office. But she stopped really facilitating the social anxiety, which in the long run really helped. So this lasted through 6th grade and into 7th. Although I started getting better about controlling my panic attacks in 7th grade, and I wasn't having them on a daily or even a weekly basis. It would happen a couple times a month. I still didn't have any friends. I still felt like most people were laughing at me most of the time, and I still, wasn't getting along really well with my peers because I didn't really have a lot of social skills. The ironic part was I was really, really good about getting along with adults. I've always been really good at talking to people that are older than me about adult issues because I've always been interested in like politics and stuff like that, and that's what adults talk about. So I've always been really good about talking to people that are older than me, but I was never really good at talking to my peers. So in 8th grade, I started playing sports. I tried out for the field hockey team, and I signed up for softball, and I made friends. Made friends with the people on my softball team, and once I made friends, you start to feel included in things, and you start to feel like, oh, maybe, I'm not that weird. This person's just as weird as me. And so once you make those friends, it's a simple step to stop feeling like everyone's laughing at you, like you're this extremely weird person that no one, likes or wants to talk to. And I developed my social skills with people that were my age. So, that was a big thing, too. So, after 8th grade into high school, I once again tried out for the field hockey team. I made it. I played lacrosse. So, I had friends, people that were on my team. And with making friends come making more social skills, more connecting and talking to people that are the same age as me. I started getting really into music. I made a Tumblr, so I started talking to people, on the internet that had the same interests as me. And so my social anxiety slowly, became something I could control, something that, is a manageable thing, something that I could live with on a daily basis. And that brings me to today. So throughout high school, throughout into college, I still live with my social anxiety. And I'm going to live with that every day, probably for the rest of my life. And you know what? That's something that I've completely, come to accept, completely come to understand and realize. And I have no problem with that. Who knows, like, what I would be without my social anxiety? It's become something that I've had to learn to live with and overcome. And I definitely think it's probably made me a stronger person because of it. Not to say that I don't wish that I didn't have it, because I do. Because even today, I still think people don't like me. Even when they tell me, even when they're my friends, I still am like, but you don't really like me. Because that's just the voice in the back of my head that's telling me that. And I've learned to ignore the voice and not let it control my actions. But it's still there, and it's always going to be there. One thing that never affected me that a lot of people with social anxiety have a problem with is public speaking. I've never had a problem with public speaking. It's always been something that I enjoyed and was good at. But most people with social anxiety hate it. They hate getting up there. They hate having everyone look at them. And I think it's just because from a young age I was always exposed to public speaking. It was always something I had to do. And I always kind of liked it because I'm kind of very opinionated, and it was a way to share my opinion. And with me, my social anxiety comes from more being excluded and being laughed at because I'm weird, and being excluded because people don't like me and stuff like that. Whereas none of that fear comes into public speaking. There's always the fear that you're going to embarrass yourself, but that's something that comes with almost anything in life. So public speaking has never really bothered me. With my social anxiety at the very manageable level it is at today, I try to live my life normally. I try to ignore all my symptoms. I try to ignore the voice that's telling me, no one really likes you, you're weird. That's in my head every day. And I try to live in spite of that. So when I come across as confident, I'm not confident. I have that voice that's telling me, oh, these people don't like me. But in order to feel like I'm stronger than that, I have to come across as confident. I have to be like, oh, hi, I'm Kelsey. What's your name? And so in my experience, a lot of the people that come across as most confident are the people that have overcome something similar to social anxiety, any type of anxiety, and are trying to live in spite of it. I know my social anxiety will never go away. It's something that I've come to terms with. It's something I've learned to successfully live with. I hope that this video helped you, if you don't have social anxiety, to learn what it is and what the symptoms are and how to live with someone that does have social anxiety. If you do have social anxiety, I hope this video helped you feel like you're not alone. Other people do have these feelings, these symptoms, and that you can learn to overcome them with your own personal strategies and your own personal ways of dealing with it. And I really hope that you do. And if you need any help, you guys know where to find me. I'm always on my channel. I am always on Twitter. Just come and talk to me. Let me know, oh, I'm having a bad day. This is what's happening. And that goes for anyone with any type of mental illness, not just social anxiety. I hope you guys liked this video. I know it was a little bit more serious than usual, but this is a topic that I wanted to address, and people on Twitter expressed interest in me addressing. So if you did like this video, please like and subscribe below. Comment, let me know what you think. If you have social anxiety and you have different symptoms, tell me. If you didn't like this video, tell me why. I know it's a controversial subject, so let me know what you guys think. My last video will be right here, and my intro video will be right here. Feel free to check them out if you want something that's, a little bit lighter than social anxiety as a subject. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys.